There was a pause as I could tell my grandparents were beginning to think of something.
So, Sam, have your behavioral issues gotten better?
Grandpa asked.
Remember, we have discussed this last time. I said we were to never discuss it again because I don't like talking about it, Sam answered.
Oh yeah, said Grandpa. Grandpa, I could tell, was trying to look for something else to do. So George, how are your sensory issues doing? Grandpa asked. Good. Have I ever discussed that with you? How did you know I was aware of my own sensory issues? I mean, I am aware, but how did you know I was aware? I asked. I just know you know, and your mother discussed it with me, said Grandpa. Oh, okay, I said. Well, how are they going? Grandpa asked. Actually, surprisingly well, considering the fact I am crippled at the moment, I answered. What is something that is really bad for your sensory issues? Grandpa asked. Loud noises, I answered.
Then don't bring up the fact you were some crazy religion and not Catholic because it is bad for my sensory issues, or I will talk like this because it is bad for yours, said my grandpa, yelling.
Oh, not so loud, I said. Loud, said Grandma. A look of horror I could see rushed across Grandma, Dr. Morcassi's face. Excuse me for a second, said Dr. Morcassius. Where are you going? Grandma asked. Outside to call Hannah because she's looking after Robbinsog and wanted to make sure we got down to Orlando okay, answered Dr. Morcassius. Tell her hi, even if we never meet her, Grandma said. Will do, said Dr. Morcassius as he was putting his red cloak on. Dr. Morcassius and went outside. So, what do you guys also think? Trump is doing a good job? Grandpa asked.
Remember, we are staunch Democrats, said Sam.
Oh, yeah, said Grandpa. This time, Grandma didn't defend him. Did you do anything fun on the way down here? Grandma asked. We stopped at Fanimation, which is a ceiling fan museum in Indianapolis, and they had lots of ceiling fans. I loved it, said George. Oh yeah, I always know that one of my grandchildren should love ceiling fans, but I forget which one. Grandpa said. Sorry we don't have any, said Grandma. It is fine, I said.
We also stopped at the Sunsphere in Knoxville, said Sam.
Did you get good views of the mountains surrounding it? Grandpa asked.
Yes, said Sam.
Just then Dr. Morcassius and Mommy and Daddy all entered the living room at the same time. Mom, Dad, Robbinsog is doing well, said Dr. Morcassius as he was entering through the door. Good, said Daddy. Boys, all of your clothes have been loaded into the drawers in the guest bedroom, said Mommy. Odd how we live in the condo, but with no guest bedroom, but our grandparents live in an apartment where they have a guest bedroom for free, said Dr. Morcassius.
I know, right?
The last time I would think I was in your royal nation was right after you, Sam, were born. We retired and moved down here to Orlando 6 months after that, said Grandma.
I know, said Sam.
So, Morgan, my boy, I hear you're now professor in art at the University of Chicago, said Grandpa.
I am. I teach comic book art, said Daddy.
How are you doing being a physician? I recently lost my job at that and have been the school doctor at the Kimball Charter School, which is where Marcus goes, said Mommy. You live in the Chicago Loop, but you ride all those stops on the Brown Line out to its end at Kimball every day? Grandpa asked Dr. Morcassius and Mommy.
Yes, answered Dr. Morcassius. I take the pink line out to Polka from the Loop to go to the James K. Polk Charter School.
Polk was not a good president, was not as good of a president as the one we have now, said Grandpa.
Dad, said Daddy.
Remember, we don't share your political views, said Mommy.
Fine, said Grandpa, shrugging.
And I take the blue line out to Oakport to go to the Oakport Charter School, I said.
How do you guys have income to go send all your kids to different charter schools? I make $3 million a year, but really my salary is none of your business, and I have a doctorate, said Daddy.
Mommy, I could tell, was beginning to get offended with the look I could see she was making on her face. I've never really seen Grandpa act like this, or make Mommy and Daddy this uncomfortable. The thing, though, is, Mommy doesn't deserve all this because she is super nice to Daddy's parents.
So when did you lose your job? Grandpa asked.
I was fired for reasons I don't want to discuss, said Mommy, looking at Dr. Cassius.
Okay, said Grandpa.
I'm still making just as much money as I would be if I was still working at that hospital on Paulina Street, said Mommy.
Okay, said Grandpa.
So what do you want to do for dinner? Grandma asked.
Comfort food, because we just had a 3-day drive down here, and that is that I did the whole thing of, said Dr. Cassius.
You did the whole thing? Grandma asked.
Yes, answered Dr. Cassius. When did you get your driver's license? Grandpa asked Dr. Cassius.
A year and a half ago, over the summer, Dr. Cassius answered.
How often do you use it? Grandpa asked.
When necessary, which is not much considering the fact we're in an area where we just use the train to get around everywhere, answered Dr. Cassius.
Is it still a nice thing to have? Grandpa asked.
Yes, answered Dr. Cassius.
That doesn't answer my question, though. What do you want for dinner? Grandma asked.
Mac and cheese, or something, or something of comfort food that I don't know, answered Dr. Cassius.
You got mac and cheese last night at the Hard Rock in Atlanta, said Mommy.
So did I said.
Let's go out to somewhere walkable, said Sam.
Is that going to require you to put your cloak back on? Grandpa asked.
Yes, Sam answered.
Then we're not going out, said Grandpa.
Dad, we are rarest. If that bothers you,
too bad. Get the fuck over it, said Daddy.
Wendy, can you? Grandpa asked before Grandma interrupted.
I want to argue about this, Grandma interrupted. Dr. Cassius then began to walk out the room into the guest room. Sam and I soon followed and I shut the door.
Did you notice how rude he is being tonight?
Dr. Cassius asked.
Yes, I said. Yes, said Sam.
George, I think I can tell you why you saw Daddy upset the other day. It is because of how disapproving his father is over us, but we still have to come visit him, said Dr. Cassius.
That makes me sad, I said.
Me too, and Mommy is so nice to them, said Dr. Cassius.
Hey guys, just a reminder, we have riddles to solve.
Yep, let's get to it, said Dr. Cassius.
Maybe we should wait for a time when people are less angry.
No, said Dr. Cassius. I then got the riddle out.